Today, I'm trying on every single pair of shoes that I own, from my everyday sneakers to my dress shoes and boots. I'll be sharing my honest reviews of each one, including sizing, comfort, style, durability, and price. This video isn't sponsored, and these are all shoes that I bought myself. At the end of each review, I'll give my verdict. Is it an essential, a favorite, or just nice to have? Let's get started. First up are the shoes I wear the most, my sneakers. Let's start with the most classic pair in my collection, my Converse Chuck 70s. Converse actually makes two versions of their iconic high tops, the Chuck Taylor All-Stars and the Chuck 70s. The difference is subtle, but the 70s are the premium version with a thicker canvas, a glossier midsole and toe cap, and sturdier construction overall. I got mine in a women's 8.5 or men's 6.5. I read online that these run a little big, so I sized down for my regular 9 and they fit perfectly. These are super comfortable, especially thanks to its cushioned sole, but they are on the narrower side, so it may not be the most comfortable if you have wide feet. Also, since they're high tops, it's rather inconvenient putting them on and taking them off, but personally I don't mind because I like how they look. Style-wise, these are super versatile and go with any outfit. Probably as classic as you can get with sneakers. I've had them for around 8 months, wear them regularly, and they still look almost new. The Chuck 70s also have a thicker heel, which means they'll last longer before wearing down. These retail for $90, but I got mine on sale at PacSun for $72. Since these are a classic style, they don't go on sale too often, but the All-Stars are a cheaper alternative at $65. If you're interested, I'll be linking all the shoes in the video down in the description. Overall, I'd call this an essential and one of my favorites. Next up is another pair of high tops, but in white, the Nike Blazer Mid 77s. These have a leather upper, suede detailing on the swoosh, and exposed foam on the tongue that gives them a vintage look. I got mine in a women's 9 and they fit true to size. At first they were a little uncomfortable. The leather was stiff and rubbed against my ankles, but after about a week they broke in and became one of my most comfortable shoes. But like the Converse, they're rather narrow and are difficult to slip on and off. Style-wise, I'd say they're just as versatile as the Chuck 70s, but a little sportier. So I usually wear them with leggings, sweatpants, or jeans. This is actually my second pair of this exact shoe. My first pair lasted for around 2 years of near daily use, around 8,000 steps a day when I was in college, but I threw them out after a hole formed in the sole. The soles do wear down quickly if you wear them often, and they also tend to get smelly after rain or heavy use, so I've definitely had to deodorize mine a couple of times. These retail for $110, but I got them on sale at the Nike outlet for $70. Overall, they used to be one of my essentials and favorites, but these days I reach for my Converse more often, so I'd put them in the nice to have category. Now, onto my low tops, starting with the Reebok Club C 85. These are all white with a leather upper and unique detail, a silver metallic band above the midsole. I got these in a woman's size 9. There was a brief break-in period, but now they're super comfortable. I wear these all the time, especially in the summer. The crisp white goes with everything, and I like pairing the silver band with silver hardware in my clothes and accessories. They're clean enough that I can even get away with wearing them to work sometimes. The quality has held up pretty well. I've worn them constantly for about 8 months, and they still look great. I grabbed these on sale on Reebok.com during a Christmas sale for only around $30, so they were definitely worth it. Overall, I'd call a good pair of white sneakers an essential, and these are one of my favorites. Next are my Reebok Club C 85 Vintage, probably the most classic version of this shoe. They're an off-white leather with a green logo detail, and I've had this pair for around 4 years. I actually bought my newer Club C's to replace these, but I realized these still have some life left, so I mainly use them now for hiking or anytime I need comfy shoes that I don't mind getting dirty. Honestly, these are the most comfortable sneakers that I own, just because they're super broken in. Style-wise, they're another classic sneaker that goes with everything. I like their low profile, so they look really seamless in an outfit. For how much I've worn them, they've held up really well. The sole is still intact and hasn't worn down that much, but the leather does have a lot of creasing. They are originally $90 or $85 a few years ago when I bought them, but I got mine on sale at ASOS for only $51. I'd rate these the same as my newer pair, both an essential and a favorite, but realistically you would only need one of the two. Next, I have my gray slip-on Vans. This is actually a slightly different shade from the classic gray, but I don't remember the exact color name. I bought these 3 years ago at the Vans store for around $40 to $50 on sale, with a retail price of $55. I got them in a women's 9/men's 7.5. In general, slip-ons tend to fit a little snug because you can't adjust them with laces, but these are still comfortable, just not as comfortable as my Reeboks. The biggest pro of these sneakers is the convenience. They're my go-to sneaker when I need to run some errands and want to slip something on and head out quickly. They've also held up really well. Even after 3 years of occasional wear, they're still in excellent condition. The sole has just worn down a little bit. I like to style them with casual outfits such as shorts and a t-shirt, or even a dress, but I don't reach for them that often for other outfits. Overall, I'd say these are nice to have. It's good to have another color and style of sneakers in the mix, but I still prefer my other pairs. My last pair of sneakers is this green and and black pair of Nike running shoes. I'm not sure of the exact model since I bought them years ago, but I remember getting them in high school at Kohl's for only around $20 to $30. These are a women's size 9. I don't wear these super regularly, but they're my go-to whenever I'm exercising or hiking. They're really comfortable thanks to its cushioned sole, and still in excellent condition after years of wear. Style-wise, I only pair these with workout clothes, since I personally don't like how running shoes look with everyday outfits. Plus, the green is harder to match. Overall, I think a good pair of running shoes is an essential. Even if you don't wear them all the time, they're a must-have for workouts or active days. Now that we've covered all my sneakers, let's move on to my dressier shoes. First, these are the Garen Lug Sole loafers in black from 9 West. Actually, the first of 3 loafers that I bought in the same order. They're shiny textured black with a 1.5-inch platform. I first got these in a size 9, but ended up exchanging them for an 8.5 for a tighter fit. For loafers, I generally recommend sizing down, or at least making sure they fit snug when you get them. Since loafers stretch over time and don't have laces, you want to make sure they won't slip off of your feet. Personally, I like loafers more than flats because they're more comfortable and give a little more structure. I only started wearing these around a month ago when I started work, so they're still breaking in, but already getting more comfortable with each wear. I normally pair them with my wide leg dress pants, and they give the outfit a classic polished look. If you want some more outfit inspiration, check out my business casual outfits video where I style all of my loafers. I bought these for $35.60 on the 9 West website, which is a pretty good deal. Overall, I'd call this an essential if you need business casual shoes that still look polished and professional. Next, this is the Manor Casual Loafer in white leather from 9 West. I ordered these at the same time as the black pair. I got them in a size 8.5 after exchanging them from a 9 like the others. They're still in the breaking in stage. I did get a few blisters the first couple of wears, but they're slowly loosening up. I really like pairing these with business casual dresses or skirts, or just whenever a lighter shoe works better for the outfit. The original price was $99, but I picked them up on sale for $31.60. I'd also call these an essential, since I think it's worth having at least one black pair and one lighter pair to mix and match in your wardrobe. The third pair I bought in the same order is the Mabel slip-on loafer in white from 9 West. Like my platform black loafers, they have a patent shine with a 1.5-inch platform. I exchanged these for an 8.5 like the others, and these were narrower than the black pair. They're not that comfortable yet, but I'm still breaking them in. What I like about these is that they feel a little more unique and eye-catching compared to the standard loafer, and they can really pull an outfit together when I want something less basic. The original price was $99, but I got them on sale for $24.60. For me, I'd call these a nice to have. Not essential, but a nice option when I want to switch out my basic loafers for more varied outfits. Then, I have my black and white loafers with a tassel detail. I actually thrifted these for only $15, and they were basically brand new when I found them. There's no brand on them, but they're marked as a size 40 in European sizes, which is around a US women's 9 or 9.5. They fit perfectly. If anything, they're a little loose, which just makes them more comfortable. When I bought them, the bottoms were spotless and there was no break-in period at all. So far, these are my most comfortable pair of loafers. I like wearing them with simple business casual outfits because the unique details adds a little more interest. I really like these, and I'd rate them a nice to have. Not an essential, but still a fun piece to mix things up in my wardrobe. Last in this category are my black heels. They have a block heel, round toe, and strap detail, with a heel measuring about 2.5 inches. I got these in a size 9, and they fit true to size. I haven't worn them out yet since I haven't had an event where I needed to wear them, but I'm sure they'll come in handy when the time comes. Normally I don't like taller heels because I'm already on the taller side and they're usually super uncomfortable, but these felt surprisingly okay when I tried them on. That said, I haven't worn them for a long period of time yet, so we'll see how they hold up. I found these in the clearance section at Nordstrom Rack for around $26, which felt like a good price point since I don't wear heels that often. I still rate them as a must-have. Not necessarily this exact pair, but just some variation of a black heel or dressy flat, so you're not scrambling at the last minute for a special event. Moving on from my dressy shoes, let's get into my boots, which I reach for the most in the fall and winter. First up are my 1460W smooth leather Doc Martens in black, but I think now they're called the 1460 Slim. My first pair of Docs was back in high school. I had a classic 1460 unisex. I didn't realize at the time, but this version was actually wider and bulkier, so they made my feet look huge, and I ended up reselling them on Poshmark. After that, I bought the 1460s Pascal, which were softer and had a slimmer profile, but the thin leather around my ankles still made my feet look really long, so I ended up reselling those too. Finally, last November, I grabbed these 1460W smooth leather boots in a woman's size 8, and after 4 years, I feel like I finally found my perfect Docs. They've got the smooth leather upper, classic yellow stitching, air cushioned sole, and 8 eyelets. In general, Doc Martens tend to run big and don't sell half sizes, so the 8 was the perfect size for me. Doc Martens are notorious for having a break-in period. For me, these actually weren't that bad, maybe a few weeks of wear before they loosened up. My tip is to make sure you wear thick socks, and maybe even band-aids for high contact areas to help protect your feet while you're breaking them in. But once they mold to your feet, they're some of the most comfortable boots you can own. I wear these all the time in fall and winter, usually with sweaters and jeans. They add a little edge to any outfit and are also water resistant. Docs are also super durable. Even the pairs I sold after wearing them for a couple of years were still in great condition. These retail for $170, but I bought mine for $120 $108 during Black Friday on the Doc Martens website. I'd rate these as an essential and one of my favorites. That said, they are on the pricier side, so you don't need Docs specifically. There are a lot of other combat boot options that can give you the same look for less. Next up are my 1460W smooth leather Docs in white. They have the same yellow stitching, heel loop, and sole as my black pair, but I really like the contrast of the white leather with the black laces and edges. These are also in a women's size 8. I wasn't planning on getting another pair of Docs, but I found these on clearance for only $68, down from $170 with a student discount. I always liked how the white ones looked, so I decided to buy them. Just like my black ones, I like pairing these with a sweater or jacket and jeans, but these give a little more contrast to the outfit. For some reason, breaking these in was a little harder than my black ones, but now they're super comfortable. They've held up really well even though I've worn them a lot. The only thing is the white pair shows creasing a lot more than the black, but that's pretty normal with Docs. You can minimize it by applying their Wonder Balsam or a leather conditioner, but personally I haven't used any. These have definitely become one of my favorites, and I actually wear them more than my black ones. I wouldn't call these an essential since they're more of a statement piece, but they still go with everything and add a unique twist to simple outfits. Now we have the same 1460W smooth leather Doc Martens, but in red. I thrifted these a few weeks ago for only $32, and they're in excellent condition, not even fully broken in yet. When I saw them at the thrift store, I really debated if I really needed 3 colors of the exact same shoe, but at that price I couldn't pass them up. Worst case, I can always resell them later, but honestly I mainly bought them to wear for myself. They were originally priced at $40, but the cashier asked me if I was a student. I told him I just graduated, but he gave me the student discount anyway. I'm still trying to figure out how to style these, but I think they'll be perfect for fall and winter to pair with sweaters and neutral outfits, since the red adds a nice pop of color. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for how to style them. Overall, they're definitely more of a nice to have than an essential, but it's still fun to have colorful shoe options. Next up are my Uggs, specifically the Ugg Classic Mini in the color Mustard Seed. When the Ultra Minis in Chestnut were super trendy, I decided to go for the regular minis instead. The Ultra Minis looked a little too short for me, and I wanted something that would actually keep my ankles warm. These are super lightweight and cozy, with a soft sheepskin lining and a pull tab to help slip them on. I got them in a size 9, and like most new Uggs, they fit a bit snug at first because of the thick fur. Over time the fur flattens out, and they loosen up. I mostly throw these on when it's cold outside and I'm just running errands. I like styling them with wide leg jeans, so the boots peek out a little, which gives them a really cozy look. These retail for $170, but I found mine brand new on Poshmark for only $55. They were still in the box, but I think they were a display pair because there's a small scuff on the side. But honestly, for the price, I didn't mind at all. Overall, they're super warm and cute, but I wouldn't have paid full price for them since they're such a short boot. I'd rate these as a nice to have. Not an essential, but if you like the style, there are plenty of affordable Ugg dupes out there. Next are my Ugg Classic Tall boots in black. For such a tall boot, they're surprisingly lightweight, and of course super comfortable and warm. I bought these in a size 9. These retail for $220 now, but I'm pretty sure they were originally $200 back when I first bought them. I actually got mine brand new in the box from Poshmark around 4 years ago for $95, which is definitely a good deal compared to retail. Because they're pretty tall, I usually pair them with leggings or more fitted pants. These days I prefer wide leg pants, so I don't reach for these as much as I used to. When I do wear them, it's definitely more for function than style. Still, these come in handy on super cold days, and they keep my feet and legs really warm. Overall, I'd rate these as a nice to have. Not essential, but still useful for winter if you want extra warmth. Moving on to rain boots, I have the Hunter Original Short Rain Boots in navy. They're made from natural rubber and are completely waterproof. I really don't like soggy shoes, so with these I can confidently step into puddles and keep my feet dry. Plus, having rain boots helps keep your other shoes from getting wet, so they last longer. I got these in a size 8. The size 9 was too big for me, so I say these run on the bigger side, unless you plan on pairing them with thick socks. They're comfortable overall, but I sometimes get blisters because there's a seam on the inside that rubs against my heel after a while. The top is also pretty stiff, so they can feel a bit uncomfortable on your calves if you're not wearing thicker pants. The opening is roomy enough so that I can tuck in straight leg or even wide leg jeans, and I found these at Costco when they were on sale. I don't remember the exact price, but they were definitely under $80, compared to its retail price of $165. I'd rate these as an essential, especially if you live in an area with a lot of rain, but if you live in a dry climate, you can probably skip these. Finally, I have my snow boots. These are the Bearing Plush Wave boots in olive/tan from Sperry. I'm not sure if these are still being sold, but I bought mine on Macy's.com for around $64, on sale 4 years ago. They're very lightweight with a nylon upper and fur lining, but not as warm as my Uggs. I really like the green color with the fur detail. They look especially cute when I wear something green or tan on top to tie the whole outfit together. The only drawback is that the traction isn't the best, which is pretty important for snow boots. I typically wear these whenever there's a lot of snow on the ground outside. That way I don't risk damaging my other shoes, while still wearing something practical and stylish. Overall, I'd rate these as a nice to have. Whether or not you really need snow boots depends on how much it really snows where you live. And that wraps up my entire shoe collection, a mix of practical pairs and some just for fun. I hope this gave you some styling inspiration or ideas of what's worth investing in. Let me know in the comments. What are your shoe essentials? And which pairs do you wear the most? If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more gracefully smart content. I'll see you in the next one.